Hey there, and welcome to the insane Hearts of Iron 4 Bread Economy mod, the Bread League. Unfortunately though, this is our next episode in the Dead mod series because this mod is very much so not alive. So this submod here adds 3 nations, the Bread League, the Cake Union, and the Pastry Empire. The whole thing is kind of a play on the name of this country here because in the normal mod it's called the Dread League, but here it's called the Bread League. I know, very exciting. And there's a lot of things in this mod. Anime, magic swords, Final Fantasy references, Pirates of the Caribbean references, evil birds, evil robot ponies, evil anime, more anime, Oliver Cromwell, Leon Trotsky, this guy, Among Us, 1984. But most importantly, there's bread. And we will eventually be able to make the most powerful form of bread, legendary bread. And hey, this is an offer I haven't given for any other Dead mod. But if by some miracle this video gets 5,000 likes, I'll update this Dead mod and bring it back to life, okay? A one-time offer. It has to happen before Falling Star releases. We also start with some interesting divisions, specifically the clown car. There's an entire plot line in this mod surrounding clowns. We won't be doing that path though, because it's bad. We're very limited on manpower. Our economy is very much so not good. We do get some decisions early on to really build up though. The bread economy mechanics aren't very complicated. We just have to make bread. We'll eventually unlock a way to automatically make bread, I think, so you don't have to keep pressing these buttons. We also want to prioritize this mass bread production button because it more efficiently makes bread. We can also spend bread and political power to permanently increase yeast production, and then to increase flour production, we just have to conquer more states. And now we have the important choice to focus on industry and get construction speed, focus on bread and get flour and yeast production, or focus on the army. Yeah, the army focus isn't really good enough to choose, and the bread production one I don't think is that good either, so we're just going to do industry. Okay, so long story short, there's a feast, there's a crazy old guy who claims to be king and is saying these crazy prophecy things about 5 nights, but we're going to listen to him and make him king. And now he's king, so some crazy old guy's king. That's all you need to know. We have to do this focus now too, which decreases our stability by 1% every week while increasing our war support by 1% every week. We're basically spreading propaganda about how these knights that may or may not exist are very scary, while also of course making bread. I'm also going to decrease bread export. Right now we're exporting 5 bread a week, but for a while we'll want to only export 2. And here it is, the auto bakery. This feature saves this mod. Without the auto bakery, it would be terrible. Though the thing about the auto bakery is you can turn the auto bakery on to automatically make bread when you have the materials, but then it always does the worst form of production. So technically, if you manually press mass bread production every time, you make bread 10% more efficiently. And we really care about bread, at least right now, so we're not going to turn on the auto bakery until later when I get bored of pressing the button. We're also trying to get in contact with this McRoll guy. He's kind of important to later. We're also hiring a breads minister to get a lot of political power, and it'll let us change economy laws with less political power. Next, we'll want to recruit Doug Donut Dome. He's the second best advisor. And so we kind of have this alliance with the Pastry Empire. We'll be invading them eventually, but right now I think we should reinforce the alliance. So we have to choose between one of these 3 buffs to get from the Empire. We can get extra infantry attack, extra armor attack, or we can get Pastrumon, who's a scary general, and it may have negative consequences later on. Don't think we want to go down the Pastrumon thing today, so we're just going to do the infantry support. And we got him John McRoll. Yes, there he is, John McRoll. Spoilers, but I think he dies later on. So yeah, now we're forced for a while to just wait for war support to increase. So we could do some of these focuses, but none of them are very good. Okay, and here is the worst political power sink ever made in any mod. It's a murder investigation. If you do the murder investigation and complete the entire thing, it makes a sequence of events later in the mod a bit easier, but it's kind of just annoying to deal with, and it doesn't really help you too much. So we're going to ignore it and get a lot of free political power. I apologize to any fans of murder murder mystery. We also now have Doug Donut Dome, the bread expert, which is good. We're not really building much right now. It's pretty slow in terms of construction. Hopefully that gets fixed soon. We need some more mills to deal with the threats to come. And so now we'll want to work on the bread focus tree while we wait. We want to end some strikes, which gives us a lot more consumer goods back. Then we will want to make the yellow bun road. And then this focus here is the most important focus in the entire mod. Legendary bread production, okay? It halves the amount of time it takes to bake legendary bread, which is incredibly important. If you don't do that, I don't know if you can win the game. And now we're going to do the journey to Crust Cavern, and this will finally officially start the route that we're doing. Okay, so basically, one of these knights that this king was talking about was found in this Crust Cavern, and now he escaped and is going to do some evil stuff. Soon this focus will complete and we'll be able to start dealing with him. And here it is, the end of Skynavia. Time is of the essence. I'm actually going to cancel this focus because time is very much so of the essence. The thing is, this guy is going to roll through everybody here, and you can technically guarantee the Cake Union and help them build forts along this border, but it's too large of a border to defend, so we kind of just leave them to die. And here we've unlocked Gluten Works. It's a new place. It's like the bread bank, but in Gluten Works, we can use bread to make magic infused bread and cinnamon shards. And the important thing here is that once we make enough magic infused bread, we can spend some magic infused bread to increase permanent magic infused bread production. So it's important that as soon as possible we get to 10 magic infused bread. Also, we have a bread friend in the world, the Bread Tech Labs, and they're invading some countries down here. It's a very bad deal. Don't buy bread oil from the Bread's Oil salesman. And oh yes, my favorite high command, Ronald McRoll. He's, I think, the younger brother of this McRoll, but Ronald McRoll is, I don't know, he's like an evil clown. I think you can kill him, or he kills you in one of the other paths. There's a very high chance we're going to be falling back a little bit here. They have medium tanks and a lot more divisions than us, and this wall of level 2 forts is not going to really do much because the forts will break. We will keep making more magical bread though. I can maybe micro a little bit to try to prevent the inevitable here, but I don't think we're going to be holding the fort line. Actually, this is going better than expected, I guess. Maybe we... okay, never mind. Yeah, this is a bit easier to defend. Terrain like rivers, hills, mountains, that's much easier to defend than level 2 forts. The Bread Tech Republic has been proclaimed. Long live the Republic. Yeah, they're doing a great job down there. Oh, nice. And because the bread bank fell, we get some patriotic Breadian divisions. Okay, and they've weakened themselves enough. It's time to finally get back into the bread bank, and we'll encircle some divisions along the way. They're basically just going to get overrun at this point. They aren't very well supplied or anything, and that is very good. We'll do this, get some cinnamon shard production, and then hopefully by the time we finish that focus, we are moving into their capital. Yes. After decades of silence, the descendant of the last prime baker has announced the reopening of the bakery. This means that we now have access to legendary bread itself. Yeah, it's very costly to produce legendary bread, but if we can do that one focus that halves the time to make it, then it doesn't really matter as much. Okay, and yeah, as we deal with this guy the first night, we now have to deal with the second night, True League Poo League, and this begins the arc of finding this stupid bread sword, Brexcalibur, or Brexalibur, yeah. And here, we'll annex everything because if you remember, the more territory we control, the more flour we produce. So yeah, we just annex everything. We have all this land to grow wheat on now. Though there's one thing left to do, and that's the final battle. We have to deal with this knight. We may have defeated his armies, but we haven't yet defeated him. But yeah, the king himself confronts the first knight, and things don't go well, but he does kill the knight. Unfortunately, though, he's now wounded in addition to being stupid, so we're going to have to find a new leader. He's unable to continue doing his job. Yeah, also the bread tech people are doing fun things down here. Okay, we're now going to start looking for Brexalibur. We just need to research the gates and search for the gates. There's this gate to the realm where Brexcalibur is. We can also keep encouraging revolt in the True League since this guy's kind of just occupying this island. Doing so will delay him from declaring war on us, so it is kind of good. Okay, and it's time for Lord Breadwell to take over. Now we'll do a couple new focuses and then we will put Breadwell in charge. And I am probably just going to ignore all these focuses. Some of them are kind of good, but you lose a lot of stability. The only one we really care about is Brexcalibur. These ones are fun though. I think you unlock magic decisions to summon knights and pirates and stuff, but we don't really need those. What we really need to do now is to annex the Pastry Empire. Oh yeah, angelic hordes attack Breadhold. Yeah, that's kind of bad. We now have 8 damaged civilian and 5 damaged military factories. Okay, and this is another plotline, the one loaf to rule them all. McRoll, our general here, gave this bag, this paper bag with something in it to this family to keep an eye on, and then he never came back because he got too busy with the entire war thing. Okay, and we're pretty powerful, but this war isn't completely free. We will have to try to encircle them a bit to get to the point where we can battle plan. They have very, very defensible terrain, so it is kind of annoying. And here it is. After substantial research, the legendary bread sword Brexcalibur was discovered to be in a shrine in the Pastry Empire, and luckily, we just conquered the Pastry Empire, see? So we will now start the expedition to the gates since we control Mount Kaglaze. Also, yes, we now have Alex the Breadler, my favorite Hoi4 advisor. This mod might be a bit bugged. This cult formed, but instead of them getting their cultist divisions, we got their cultist division. Okay, so we now need to prepare the bread sacrifice, which requires 5 legendary bread. Unfortunately, we only have 1 legendary bread right now, and that is not enough legendary bread. And Breadhold or war, yeah, we're not going to give him Breadhold. So the second night is going to kill the bread gods. Unfortunately, though, we don't have enough legendary bread. At least it looks like we have a year. I think we can probably make 2 more legendary bread in a year, but if we don't, then he will kill the bread gods. In its time, we will prepare the bread sacrifice. Just takes 5 days to put the legendary bread in place. We still have 100 days or so, or 70 days before he kills the bread god. See, this is why you do the murder mystery thing, so you're not trying to rush to finish this. We have the legendary sword and now it's time to challenge the god. Anyways, we kill him. We still need to somehow naval invade them though, and we don't really have a navy right now. Ah yes, and the fellowship. This is his destiny. Goodbye, John. You were a good general. Yep, you can go too. Goodbye, Almighty Loaf. Part 7. Goodbye, Prime Clown. Ronald McLoaf, you were a good clown. Goodbye, Bread Minister. You were a good political advisor. 9. Okay, that's enough. Yes, the Fellowship encountered and successfully defeated a group of raiders. They took 0 damage during the battle. Oh yeah, I think, yeah, it's right here. The 5th night. So we're now dealing with the 2nd, the 4th, and the 5th night at the same time. See, we can give them a free level up, but it costs 5 legendary bread. We can also use large amounts of normal bread to give them health potions, but they have max HP, so it's fine. We're just going to ignore that for now. It's pretty much just an auto-scroller. And finally, the sea's calm. The 2nd night is done, so we've defeated the 1st night, and we've defeated the 2nd night. That only leaves 3 more to go. Also, it looks like they won the war. Look at them. We're spreading bread in the north, they're spreading bread in the east. Okay, these guys aren't good. It's the Bread Tech Empire, the 3rd night, so now we are dealing with the 3rd night, the 4th night, and the 5th night. We can try to destabilize the empire by giving tons of bread to rebels, you know, offering them food. We also need to invade all these surrounding countries before they do. Okay, we level up. We have to choose a stat to increase by 2. I think our leadership is a bit low. We'll also want to harass the Northern Legion here. We want to take out these 3 countries, I remember now, and then we can help the rebellion. And then if we help the rebellion take out the Northern Legion, then that greatly destabilizes the empire much more than giving bread to rebels will. So we can now reign in the north here, which will give us claims on everything and a lot more manpower. We can also now support the Northern Rebellion, so we'll do that. Oh yeah, I forgot. If we had done that one focus in the 2nd night focus tree, we could summon the knights again to destabilize the empire. vampire. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Anyways, that's all the time I have for today, and I have run into some issues with the third night, the fourth night, and the fifth night. The fourth night is stuck in this endless cycle, and I can't actually finish it because even though the decision should be clickable, it isn't. The fifth night, somehow I've made 6 out of 5 progress, so I can no longer go onto the island where the fifth night is, where the doom oven is. Yeah. Also, technically this mod was never finished and it ends on a cliffhanger, but hey, if this video gets 5,000 likes before I finish Falling Star, I'll make an update for this mod and fix these bugs, an offer I won't and couldn't really give for any other of these dead mods. Anyways, this might too be the last episode in the dead mod series. I think this is probably a good place to end it off. Anyways, I'll see you all next time.